Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is December 1st, 2021. It's 6:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States in Rochester, New York. And this is my Coping with Schizophrenia blog entry for today. Today, I wanted to video on electroconvulsive therapy, also known as electroshock therapy. Electroshock therapy is a psychiatric treatment where they sedate you to make you unconscious. They give you general anesthesia. And they also give you muscle relaxants so you don't have bodily convulsions and you're not awake during the treatment. What they do is they use 1 or 2 electrodes on the right and left temple of the head near the eyes, and they administer a brief electroshock, which causes a seizure inside the brain, and it's used to treat depression, some forms of psychosis, hallucinations, delusions, paranoia, and depression. I've been through it many, many times myself. I started first using it in the early 1990s at a hospital here in Rochester, New York. And there's still 2 hospitals in Rochester, New York that still use electroconvulsive therapy, also known as electroshock therapy. Rochester General Hospital and Strong Memorial Hospital of the University of Rochester still do electroconvulsive therapy, also known as electroshock therapy. It can be done inpatient or outpatient. Because it causes a lot of confusion and temporary memory loss through the anesthesia and the electroshock itself. If you do it outpatient, you need to ride to and from the treatments, and you need to have somebody at home to supervise you for several hours after each treatment. The treatments are done 3 times a week, never 2 days in a row, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and not on Saturday and Sunday. That's the standard schedule that you go through when you do electroshock therapy. And they can do it anywhere from 1 week to several weeks, and they never do it for more than 2 months. Then they may use maintenance therapy, where they give you 1 treatment a month after your first initial course of treatments to maintain the benefits of the electroconvulsive therapy. A lot of people claim that they've gone through it and they haven't found it very helpful. I found it very helpful, and I think it would have been helpful sometimes over the past 2 years, but I wasn't able to get it done because you can't be put into the hospital to do electroconvulsive therapy unless you're actively suicidal or violent. You can be hospitalized just for the sole purpose of having electroconvulsive therapy. And I couldn't do it outpatient because I didn't have a ride to and from treatments, and I didn't have anyone to supervise me when I got home. So there are several times when I thought it would be beneficial to me to have electroconvulsive therapy for my depression, my paranoia, my hallucinations, my delusions, but I couldn't arrange it. And this kind of makes me angry. Other people are definitely afraid of electroconvulsive therapy. I've heard people claim they've had permanent memory loss. Some people I know have claimed they've lost like a year's worth of memory after having the treatments. I suppose that may happen. It's never happened to me. The only memory loss that I've ever had is for the treatment itself, the time just before each treatment, and maybe some foggy headedness and memory loss for like an hour or 2 after each treatment, which is why you need to have somebody to supervise you for several hours after you get home from each treatment if you do it outpatient. I had surgery on my bladder and my prostate this year, and I was able to use a Medicaid cab taxi to go to and from each surgery with no one to supervise me at home. I was allowed to go through with the surgeries. And I was just as confused by the anesthesia from the surgery as I would have been from electroconvulsive therapy. But electroconvulsive therapy's clinic won't let me use a Medicaid cab to go to and from each treatment. And they won't let me go home unless I have someone to supervise me at home. Although I don't think I would have been any more confused from the electroconvulsive therapy than I was when I had general surgeries on my prostate and my urinary bladder. So I don't understand why I couldn't arrange the treatments, but those were the rules set up by each hospital. Um, I think electroconvulsive therapy helped me with my paranoia, my depression, my anxiety, my delusions, my depression, when nothing else would. Um, and I think I've suffered needlessly by not being able to arrange the treatments. I don't think I need the treatments right now. I think I'm doing fine with the medications I'm on, the psychotherapy I started receiving several weeks ago, and will continue to do so. So electroshock therapy or electroconvulsive therapy is not something I need right now, but if I ever need it in the future and I can't arrange it, that always makes me kind of angry because it can be a very effective treatment when nothing else works. Um, there are drawbacks to electroconvulsive therapy, like any invasive medical treatment or surgery. It can cause health problems. That's true for any surgery, any general anesthesia that you would go under during surgery. Um, I've never had problems with general anesthesia. I've had several surgeries. I've had abdominal surgeries for hernias. I've had surgery on my left wrist when I broke my wrist, and they put in metal screws to hold my bones together, which are still there. Um, I've had surgery on my prostate. I've had surgery on my urinary bladder. Um, so I've never had any problem with general anesthesia from surgery, and I've certainly never had any problems with general anesthesia during electroconvulsive therapy. One thing they do not do when you go through electroshock therapy is you're not awake during the treatments. Um, they used to do that in the 40s and the 50s, but they stopped doing that several decades ago. Um, and as far as I know, in New York State, in the United States at least, electroconvulsive therapy is purely voluntary. I don't know if in New York State, if a court can order a person to go through treatment. I've never come across that idea personally in my treatments. It never came up as an issue, so I'm not aware of what the legal status of that is in New York State or in any of the other 50 states in the United States. And I don't know how foreign countries do electroshock therapy or why they use electroshock therapy. I'm sure there are governments and dictators that use electroshock treatment to torture people and treat them for mental illness that they don't even have, political prisoners, that kind of thing. I'm sure that exists in the world. Um, but again, I have no personal experience with that. But like I said, electroconvulsive therapy is done under general anesthesia. It's done with muscle relaxants so your body doesn't go into convulsions. Because several decades ago, when they did electroshock treatments without general anesthesia and without muscle relaxants, people would go into convulsions and they would actually break bones in their arms, their legs, their ribs, that kind of thing. Their bodies would actually be injured by the treatment. And there have been double blind studies done. Electroconvulsive therapy can be very beneficial for depression, for delusions, for hallucinations, for paranoia. Um, when nothing else will work. It doesn't work for everybody, and some people claim side effects that are very severe and permanent, like memory loss. That's not been my personal experience with it. Um, Obviously, I'm not giving medical advice. Um, Electroconvulsive therapy is something that you and your doctor have to discuss. You can't take medical advice from me. I'm not a doctor. I'm only describing my personal experience with electroconvulsive therapy, also known as electroshock therapy. Um, so, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you want me to do a video on a specific topic, let me know in the comment section.